There we go. Welcome back to the stream. Once again, we're here on our Sunday D&D game. Apologies for the late start. We've had a few technical difficulties, but we've got things worked out now. And once again, here's Jeremy the GM.
Good morning, everybody. A little bit of a late start, but I very much appreciate the class staying with us. That being said, we'll figure out the XP for that later. Anyhow,
Oh, good.
all right, party! Yeah, I hear it. Actually, I believe Ash and Necra, y'all leveled?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay. Maybe not 1,000 each, but we'll look at it. Like a quest or something. Maybe not a minor quest, but a quest.
Like the customer, the players are always right.
I don't know what galaxy you living in, buddy, but these are my rules. No.
Anyways.
So you ushered off the princess, shall we say, and the pickpocket, and giving them the escort of the wolf. And you're pretty sure with his speed and at least their skills, they're going to be safe. It's not too far from the village, and you're still within, the happy hunting grounds, shall we say. You've decided to... I'm sorry?
When did we die?
Not that happy hunting ground, but, You've decided to go check up on your friend, the Minotaur. Not the Minotaur, excuse me, the Manticore.
A totally different beast.
Yep. Sorry, different game. No. Okay, yes. And I guess you have possibly decided to camp out there for the evening. And we'll see how the conversation goes, and we'll go from there. Damn it, I'm gonna stop doing that. I need as you get closer to where the cave is, I need Banthor and what are your passive perceptions? I know Banthor's offhand, but Ash?
16.
10.
Okay. Necra, what was it?
16.
Oh, okay. So I'll need Necra, Banthor, and Kellen, what's your passive perception?
12.
Okay. So Banthor and Necra, give me a perception roll, please.
I'm so sorry, guys. I gotta go for like 5 minutes. Take care of something. A big spill. I'm so sorry.
Oh no, that's totally understandable. Some of us have kids, we know. Okay. Necra, you as you get closer, you can smell blood in the air.
All right.
And you're clearly close. You're you're about 100 feet or so away from the cave itself.
So I quietly mention that, and go from being just kind of tactical, stealthy to like fights imminent. So even quieter, and trying to not jump into the nearest tree and
Going to what is that? Auto hide.
something like that.
As we wait for Banthor, is there anything that anybody wishes to do with that information, or knowing that information?
Necra did tell us.
Decided to go in. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
just double checking. Necra told us.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I will draw my long sword and my short sword actually too.
Okay. Yeah, I was wondering, are you gonna do just a long sword or a long sword and a shield? So.
I don't have a shield.
Oh, you don't have a shield. Okay.
Mm-mm.
All right.
I took the short swords instead of the shields. So yeah, gonna have
Right. Yeah.
dual wielding.
Yeah. I just didn't know. I know you get the +1 with the dual wielding.
Yeah.
That feat or something like that. But I didn't know if you would still have a shield too, because you could get a +2 with your AC, though you just wouldn't be as offensive. That's all.
Yeah. Nah, I like the +1.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, while we're waiting for Banthor, Kellum,
Mhm.
I have a suggestion for your character. You. So, last game session, you had. We were casting a spell, and then we talked about that spell not being like going to be able to work. Green Flame Blade, was it?
Mm-hmm.
No, it was.
Okay.
Was it?
You can't use it because you don't have a charisma score yet.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Right. So, I mean, you can change that out if you'd like for another cantrip, and also, well, Witch Bolt works.
Yeah, that one works fine.
And Hex works great.
Yeah.
The only thing I would say possibly with Witch Bolt is changing, possibly, or at least looking at the spell Armor of, was it Agatha?
Agathis?
Agathis, yeah. That was like the only thing I would, well, not that that's the only spell, but, just looking at just what the spells are and what your character is. I don't have a good suggestion for the Green Flame Blade, but maybe Ash or somebody else might have a better suggestion.
I mean, Booming Blade would probably work better at this point if you were to want to
Booming
switch
Blade?
it out. Yeah,
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 because at least that one.
I clicked on it as you said it.
useful, though I keep forgetting in the other game that I have it.
Right? That's
Well, yeah, because I mean it works, especially if you have targets that like to move and chase you. So, or if they're smart, they won't move and chase you.
Mm.
So it kind of works both ways, because either
So-
they're going to move, take thunder damage, or they're not going to move
Yeah.
and wait till it wears off. So,
It could also be a good one to use in the start of a battle, because they're going to have
Mhm.
probably have moved at the beginning, the first round of any encounter.
mhm.
Yeah, that looks like a good one. Although,
I can't remember with Booming Blade. Do you? Well, I guess you have to move away to make it like really good
Yes.
in a way.
The first stage, like before you get to 5th level, they have to move, and they have to move on their own in order for it to take effect.
Yeah, no thorn whip and no move them on your.
It's when it gets to level 5 is when it does extra thunder damage, and then extra damage if they move again. So
And then, is Thorn Whip a cantrip?
yes.
Okay.
Thorn Whip is a cantrip for druids. The rangers can get it if they take druid warrior fighting.
Okay. But it's not a warlock. Okay.
And,
I guess I should have asked that more specifically.
yeah, that's a nature thing. So.
Yeah.
Well, without one of the feats or.
Right.
Actually,
I think there's a way to get through Pact to the Tome to get that, but
Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah. We'll stick with.
not there yet.
Yeah.
If y'all would help me double check this, Hellish Rebuke. I use that a lot in Baldur's Gate 3. I don't see where it
it's a fun
relies
one.
on any charisma. It's just they have to do a dex save, right?
It's a dex save, reactionary spell.
What is
If you
their
take
target number
damage,
for the dex save?
it's your spell save DC
Which is going to be low.
for for
10.
taking half damage. So they'll take damage either way, but
Yeah.
it's for half.
Yeah, your DC is 10
Okay.
since you don't have a charisma bonus.
So it still does look
Yeah.
at charisma, but at least it can still be cast, whereas the green flame
Right.
type.
I mean, yeah, you can
But
still
it does
cast it, but it's
nothing.
not going to do anything. Yeah, until you reach 5th level, So,
But if
and at which point you can.
still take half
I don't
damage,
know
right?
when you get. I'm sorry.
they would still take half damage if they save, though, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
And what's the damage dice on that?
2d10.
Oh, okay. For Hellish Rebuke,
hmm
that's nice.
And then spell using spell slot. Second level or higher, the damage increased by 1d10 for each slot above first that it's on. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Oh, is that a leveled or is that a cantrip? I can't remember.
That's a first level spell.
That's a first level, so it'd be
okay.
replacing Witch Bolt.
Gotcha. Got it.
But I was just comparing it as far as how the charisma part on it works. I was just comparing it to Green Flame Blade so I could understand the charisma aspect of it.
Yeah. The Witch Bolt is also concentration and something that you would do every round.
You have to use your action every round to keep the effect going.
I thought it was
Honestly,
a
it's not
bonus
worth
action
you having
after the
being a
first round.
fire. No,
Is it?
it's an action. That's the thing about it. You have to use your action, but you do direct damage every time.
Yeah, I see the wording now. They changed that for Baldur's Gate 3,
Yeah. They made it a
Oh,
lot easier.
if I remember
A
correctly.
lot of
They
things
changed
are
a lot of
different.
stuff.
Yeah.
I would probably
I-
change that out for you for Arma of Agathi.
Yeah.
It works good version.
That's actually a really good spell.
Gives you
Especially for your
temporary.
character. Yeah. Gives you temporary hit points, and then when you get hit, it damages your opponent.
Yep. It's
And then it
also
scales. So,
non-concentration lasts for an hour, so you can set it
Yeah,
up way
that's
ahead of time.
yeah. Yeah, so you don't have to use it in combat. You're like, oh, we're about to get into combat? Or, thing like that. So,
Well, I swapped out the green for Booming Blade.
Okay.
And I swapped out Witch Bolt for Hellish Rebuke.
all right. Sounds good.
And
So I may not be able to use them
Of course.
as most effectively, but at least they're still usable.
yeah,
Yeah. I just wanted to, I'd rather you get some better. Yeah, 2d10. That's nice. Okay.
well, that, and as Germ can tell you, at least one time somebody decided they wanted to take a swipe at my character in the other game, and it was like, okay, I'm bleeding, right? Yeah. Fire. And that the NPC decided finding someplace else to be was a good idea.
Right?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, running from a werewolf means you're going to be chased, so...
Did Banthor make it back? I take that as a no.
I thought he might. He dropped out of roll 20, then came back
Okay.
on roll 20, but maybe not.
Well.
Let's see. I have a good chance of making the 30th game. Was it? Was that the 30th was the next scheduled game for us at D&D?
Fallout.
Oh, Fallout.
All right.
Let's see.
No,
Right.
Fallout's done until
cool.
next year.
Yeah. 30th
Yeah.
is on a Saturday. 31st
Oh.
is a Sunday.
But 31st is a Sunday. That's New Year's Eve.
Okay. I'm gonna have to. Yeah. Dadgummit. I think we're. I'll have to come back to that. I'm sorry. I got my dates messed up. So she's like, "Oh yeah, the 30th. Yeah, Saturday morning. Sure. Kind of thing. That shouldn't be too bad. We're gonna have people in town, but if it's just gonna be a couple hours. But then if it's gonna be the 31st, I don't
Is
know.
it the people I think it's going to be? Our mutual.
Yes. Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
Okay. Then if it's the 30th, he's going to join us. We're going to do Fallout.
Right. See, I can't remember. We're supposed to be going and picking him up in Atlanta, so I don't know if he's going to be here already, or if he's coming in on Saturday, or if he's coming in on Sunday. I'm fully not in the loop. My apologies,
Okay.
but
Well, when you find out, let me know, and let's play by ear. You chat with him,
Okay.
see if he's interested, and if he is, then we'll just we'll still stick with our original. We'll come back on the 6th for Fallout, but we'll throw in an extra Fallout session on the 30th, so we can get him. I mean, I'd love to have three players that know each other and have played together before.
Right. Yeah, we could use a little help dealing with that base.
Yeah. Also, while we're waiting, although I'll have to repeat it later for Banthor too, but if any of you are interested in the Fallout campaign, we do that on the opposite Saturday from our Sundays for D&D.
Yeah, that's what are you're using Unity again? What's the name of that program?
Fantasy Grounds Unity.
Yeah, Fantasy Grounds. There you go.
Affiliate link in the comments below on the D&D campaigns, not on. I'm sorry, on the Fallout campaigns, not on the D&D campaigns.
No.
Sorry, I went a little marketing there on you. I apologize.
Yeah.
So good. Excuse me. I'll check my messages. Let's see. All good. You missed a call. Oh wow, dude tried to call me, man, and I didn't even hear it. Oh no, I heard the second one.
Is that what it was? Like you're late?
It must have been the second one because it was at 8:27, and I remember popping up like right before 8:30, going shit.
Yeah.
Sorry. So yeah, okay. So that must have what woke me up. So
I thought so because the phone
I'm
hung
sorry.
up.
Juice and a
Stop
whole
ringing.
rug do not make.
Juice and a what?
That a spill I had to deal with.
Oh,
you said juice in a rug or what?
Yeah. One day my daughter sleeps in a little bit. Wife discovered this pretty much right when we started.
Oh no. Excuse me.
But we got a handle. I should be good to go.
All right.
all right.
Okay.
Sweet.
What were you saying, Ash?
That's not important.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because
I
I
think we're
did
still ripping on you
send a
about waking
message
up.
yeah, I did send a message at 8:33. So yeah, that was like enough time to, you know, open it up and type that in from being woken up from the phone call. So yeah, I appreciate it. Okay. So as the party gets closer, who was it? Oh, Necra, you smell blood and inform the rest of the group. Let's see. So Kellum grabs his swords. I believe Necra, you did the same. Ash and Banthor, anything for you?
Probably standing behind everybody.
Okay.
I'm gonna ready a frostbite spell in case anything is aggressive.
Okay. Is that a cantrip?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, all right. Because anytime, just to make sure that anytime that you ready a spell like that, um, you're casting it. So if you had readied a first level spell, no matter what happens, you've basically cast that spell. So I just want you to, you know, think about that when you say you're ready in a spell, or especially if you say, I'm holding my action with this spell in combat. So if you use that form of tactic, you would be casting the spell, and then whenever something triggered it, you would automatically just cast it. So just to make sure that we are on the same page with that.
Okay, thanks.
Mhm.
A second. All right, cool. All right, one moment. I'm forcing where are we? This is, there we go.
Somebody's been busy.
Yeah.
So as you get close enough to the scene or to the cave, you can smell the blood more and catch glimpses of cobalt bodies sitting before the cave entrance.
So it's no bodies of our kin, just kobolds.
Correct.
Okay.
Um, okay. Would you? How would you like to proceed from there, knowing that you have that more information?
I will lower my swords down to a very low guard, like a half ready instead of like full
Gotcha.
on
Right.
ready, but still drawn out because he's handled these kobolds just fine. There might be some more around the corners, or he might suspect us to be kobolds if we come up in too aggressive a stance. So I'll be only in swords are drawn kind of position, not a full on ready.
Color of the cobalt.
Red. Plus, it is dark. You could tell that they're red kobolds because of the way their horns are and other features like that. But let's see. No, who's got double sight?
I do. Ash.
Okay. And Ash, you would be able to see in color, correct with that? Or is it still black and white?
No, I can see in color.
Okay, all right. So it is after dusk or dawn. It's a dark, not dark, but dark. So you wouldn't be able to tell with night vision exactly what color it is because you see in black and white. But because of the Ash can see to 120 feet in color, and because of their particular fins or bone extrusions on their head and things like that, you can tell that they are of the Red Hand clan. Yes, the Red Hand. So they'll go and mark their territory or their scenes with a red blood handprint, basically.
Okay.
I haven't got around to the other ones yet, but that's what they are.
Uh-huh.
So, noticing that these are, red kobolds and such, I should mention that and then proceed into the cave.
Okay. You need everybody to roll perception.
Will I be on my disadvantage for perception right now?
No, it is dark.
Remotely.
All right, Necker.
Actually, I think because of particulars, you're better off than the rest of us.
Oh, who's got?
Yeah,
Somebody has the feet. Who's got the feet? Oh, I think it's Banthor. What's your feet? Alert?
The alert?
Yeah, alert.
Okay. So Necra, Banthor, you are not surprised. But Kellum and Ash, you are. As a large creature comes burrowing into your area. Okay. And let's see. So who was it? Necra and Banthor. You notice that it is the Manticore. He has blood on his paws. And right before he gets to the group, he recognizes that you are who you are and stops before he continues his charge. And he's somewhat frothing at the mouth. All right. So Banthor, you drop your spell. He's somewhat frothing at the mouth, not like a mad dog, kind of just like, he's in the moment. And he shakes his head and I almost killed you too.
I'm glad you didn't. What happened here?
Well, I had a couple of kobolds that I was tracking before I met y'all earlier today. And, well, I went and rounded them up. Well, I don't know. Did I round them up or did they find me because I kept going back and forth to the cave? Either way, we had a dance. They died. Oh, yeah, my apologies. These are... Okay, Necra. Who doesn't have control? Callum is there. Banthor there. Okay, he should have control.
I do not.
Nope. Unless we're looking at the wrong layer or something.
You do see the cave, yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So just move Necra. Let me. It says here. Oh, I was looking at the wrong thing.
Uh-huh.
There we go. Boop. All right, Necra, you should be good.
Finally. Yep.
My apologies. All right. Tell him he should be good.
Yep.
Banthor. And I'll put all for Ash. Just in case. All right. Alrighty. I didn't move the token in for the Manicore, but you know, if we need to, I'll bring it in. You can. So he walks back and forth a couple times, like in front of the group. You can see that he's still tense.
Amped up.
Yeah, amped up, and you know, there's something else kind of going on. But he's walking in front of the group, pacing back and forth, kind of thing.
Right.
And you know, basically he'll say, "So, what brings you here so early?" And you can, Banthor, you could kind of catch that he's glimpsing back and forth to the cave and to the group.
Can I roll like an insight check to see what's going on?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. He's nervous about letting you closer to the cave. That's why he's kind of pacing back and forth in front of the group. Kind of, you know, almost stopping you from going any further. Though he's not really making any, you know, aggressive moves, or he hasn't said anything, but he's like, you know, he's trying to make up his mind of what he wants to do.
You okay? Are you hurt? Did any of them manage to get a scratch on
He
you?
laughs out loud. And makes a bellow of it almost, you know, and then kind of catches himself and looks around like, oh, did I make too much noise? And kind of looks at the group like, my apologies. I like to laugh, especially when I hear a joke.
I try to gesture to Necro, kind of like at the cave, like kind of give a look like something's.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Would you like, are you openly doing this, or would you like to use sleight of hand?
Yeah, I'm trying to conceal it from the Manticore,
Right.
so sleight of hand.
Sure, use sleight of hand. Okay. So you wave to Necra, you know, to get her attention, and kind of gesture toward the cave and give like a questionary like look, or you know, shrug your shoulders like something's going on. And the Manicore, kind of out of the corner of his eye, he looks at Necra and waits to see, you know, like what Necra does. You can see Banthor that he is not looking at you, the Manicore, but he's looking at Necra, you know, out of the side of his eye and such. You know, not directly, but he's like, what's she gonna do? Kind of thing.
You seem very tense. Is there something wrong? And Ash is just kind of talking to him, not noticing any of this. She's just checking on him.
Gotcha.
Wow. And when he starts like, okay, what are you doing? I'm like, put the, well, stole it away, so would have been the bow, but unlimber the bow. I'm like, well, no, put it away. But it was
You're
like,
right.
So what? You got a hot date in there?
You have a short memory.
Mm.
I told you that the devils killed my wife.
Well, doesn't mean that you couldn't have found a prospective mate fairly quickly if the situation arose.
Because you do not know me, I will let that one slide. Do not speak ill of the dead, nor of my wife. Her name was Sepja, and you will keep her name out of your mouth. Had to, sorry.
No one was saying anything ill of your lost love. Only wondering why you seem so tense. And why you're pacing in front of us as if you're trying to block us from going any further.
Our friendship is new, and I have things to hide. Just like you have things to hide.
True. This is true. So long as you're not hiding anything that would put us or our village in danger.
The only danger would come to you if you try to approach my cave. Or shall we say, enter my cave.
Fair enough. Do you remember who showed you this cave?
And I am grateful. That is why I stopped my charge. Didn't want to accidentally hurt any of you. We are friends, more than acquaintances. And with that, he'll kind of like lay down and in front of the group, facing the group. So he's got his hinds quarters towards the cave and is facing the group, but he's kind of laid down and taken a relaxed position.
Okay. Well then.
There's nothing to fear, young warrior. You can put your weapons away. As he looks at Kellum.
I'll sheath them.
Wow.
And
Well, rather be safe than sorry. And Ash is going to, just approach calmly, but just approach and just kind of stand next to him.
Okay, all right. He'll watch you as you walk up to him, and if he senses that you're walking past him, okay.
Right up to him and just sits not directly in front, but kind of like to the side where she can see the group and him. So.
Okay. So let's just say that I can move. Do I have? Hold on. Oh, that's the wrong. This one, maybe. Nope. There we go. No. Oh, I'm gonna bring his token in. There we go. All right. Okay. So as you get close to him, and he doesn't tense up or seem like he's annoyed with you walking up to him. He gestures for you in front of him and sit. Let us talk. You come here for a reason, have you not?
Hmm.
And then he starts to smell you as you approach. Ooh, you have cobalt blood on you as well. Ah, you have a story?
You could say that.
Well, I mean, more than that, we brought some sickles,
Ooh.
thinking that you might wanted something to eat, but should have known better that you get your own food.
Well, these have been mangled too much to eat. I am leaving them as trophies. And a warning.
Start looking around in the underbrush for deadfall.
Okay. To make a fire or something?
Well, if... How many corpses? 5?
Oh, up there?
More display.
I will leave them where they... Oh, well, y'all didn't really talk about it. But yeah, you can look around for things like that. He'll look at you for a little while, like trying to figure out what you're doing, and then as he sees you, grabbing up sticks and such, he'll just kind of keep a lazy eye on you, but not like examining your every motion and such. He looks back and forth between individuals just to kind of keep his eye on everybody. Ice sickles, out here in the forest. How did you get icicles? Please tell me your story.
I'd like to approach.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it was quite the story. The good bit of Reds tried to ambush us. Point down to my torso. I actually had a couple of arrows go in me. So I just decided to shatter them with ice magic. And oh boy, you can tell how mangled they are.
So you pull out the 2 kobolds.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Ooh. Is this a gift for me?
Depends. Are you still hungry?
I have another purpose for them, but if you give them to me, I will happily accept.
Well, I can't speak for the group.
A purpose? What type of purpose?
Oh, well.
If not to eat them.
Well, I am going to use them to save some of the other corpses I have. It is known that freezing meat keeps it readily available for later consumption.
Mm-hmm. I have no issue with giving them to you. Let's say the rest of you.
Yeah, he looks at the rest of the group, Kellum and Necro, like, can I please have the icicles? You can see in his eyes.
Kellum has no opinion on the matter. He doesn't care. Kellum's probably actually just watching the woods, kind of patrolling, make sure nothing else is approaching.
Right. Gotcha. So majority rule, and he grabs up the 2 icicle kobolds and muffles, I'll be back. because he put them in his mouth. And he he'll he'll trot up to the cave and go inside for a moment. That's
And
the
as soon as
inside.
his attention is away. Right. So up the tree.
Where do you want to be, Nick?
Try to get to the edge of, well, right around here, and peer in.
I'd like to cast
All right,
guidance
so
before you.
okay. This can lead you up and around.
Okay. But that would be okay.
Like you can go behind and then get up on that rock and then scuttle around. Are you trying to get up? Or are you just trying to get over to the
Just
cave
over,
itself?
not.
Okay, all right. What's your movement?
Just a sec.
30, 35?
30, yeah.
Okay, all right. So let's snap that. We'll say that you were, somewhere over yonder. All right. Okay. Roll. Do you dash over there? How do you want to do that?
Rather stealthily.
All right. Roll stealth, please. Necker's like on the button. We're ready to go. I knew what I was going to say. All right. So it takes you about 3 rounds, to get over there quick enough without making a lot of noise. With your 25, you're able to do that. As Necker is moving away, what is the rest of the group doing?
I'm standing there,
so
like,
Banthor gave you guidance. Excuse me.
Okay, so that would have been what, plus.
a D4.
Yeah, and you can choose whether or not to use it.
I mean, it lasts
before
1
the
minute.
last-
Oh, okay. Yeah, you can use it whenever, and it lasts a minute. So, okay.
Yeah, so
That'd
about
be
10
10
rounds.
rounds total.
Kellum, are you doing anything different?
No, I think I'll continue to patrol the outside. I mean, obviously the kobolds have come here in the past. They may send another patrol to look for their lost patrol. Yeah, so I'll keep an eye out.
Okay. And Necker, are you just going to that tree, or are you going to go up to the cave entrance itself?
And yeah, so.
Okay.
And kind
roll
of one
perception?
eye. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Figured.
And did you want to use
Yeah.
the guidance on that? Okay. Okay. With the 16, you can hear the Manticore softly talking. You can't hear what he's saying. He's using a low voice, but you could tell that he is talking to somebody. You don't get a response. Roll insight.
Okay.
He has a different demeanor when he's in this conversation. Um, with a 10, I can't really give you any more information than that, but he does have a different demeanor than he's been showing you.
Okay, so all right.
And let's see, I forgot. What is your passive perception?
16.
Okay, all right. And after a moment, you can hear him coming back out of the cave.
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right.
And do you want me to do another stealth roll or?
No. Because of what he's doing. No. You can stay there, or you can. You know that you've got a little bit more time. You can move past that if you'd like, or you can stay there. Gotcha. Okay.
And when I get that far, basically like, oh, like I'm back. I didn't stop futzing with sticks and
Yeah.
stuff.
So there's, you see this log here, and you start to gather up wood from that. You're like, oh, this is what I was looking for, a big pile of wood. And you start messing around with that. He comes out of the cave, sees you, recognizes that you're there, and then sees what you're doing and just continues moving forward. He gets to you and he goes, find what you're looking for.
Kind of look for holding up one of the bigger sticks. Well, this might be a good support for basically warning poles.
Hadn't really thought of that. We're not that malleable with our hands. No. I wish to keep my trophies where they are, at least for the moment. I appreciate the thought. Yes, I appreciate the thought. But we can use the wood for fire if you'd like. And he'll kind of continue moving back to where he was and sit back down. I appreciate the cobalt icicles. They will help preserve the meat a little longer. I put them on top of the rest of my game, and hopefully that will keep them well. I've dug a hole and put the game in there, and already had that situated. And I just put those little tasty little cobalts on top. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And I appreciate everything that you've done for me so far. I assume that there's something that you wish to speak to me about?
Mm-hmm.
Or did you just want to catch up on old times?
We are curious about the demons you say you encountered, and any insight you can provide us with that. I believe we're potentially gearing up to go on an excursion in that direction and face them before they can reach our village.
These devils were quite ferocious. Me and my in my enclave lived near the coast. We lived in the mountain range, the Northern Fangs. So the information for y'all. The mountain range that surrounds your area is called the Dragon's Maw, because it's like in a V-shaped formation, so it kind of looks like a mouth. And there's a few mountain ranges that stick up a little bit higher than, or mountain peaks that stick up a little bit higher, and near the coast, and those are called the Northern Fangs. There will be other mountain peaks on the other range that are called the Southern Fangs. And near the mouth are the part where the two mountain ranges come together. That's called the tongue of the dragon. And generally speaking, that place stays frozen for the most part. And other places, the mountain range is pretty high, so it's always cold. There's always snow on the caps and things like that. So with him telling you that he came from the Northern Fangs, he's close to the coast as well. And that is, let's see, I'm going to draw something real quick. So that being the mountain range, it's probably not the right angle. His enclave would have been like, up near the tip of that range, and then here's the coast. So he's not far off from the coast. And generally speaking, your village is somewhere, about that in that mountain range. Yeah, the angle is totally wrong. It should be more like, no, that's not it.
That's
But
close.
anyhow, but it is closer. Yeah, I think it's kind of like that, actually. Yeah, there we go. But anyhow, I don't have that map pulled up, and I don't really care about looking at it. But that's a general gist from the information that he's given you. Y'all know at least a little bit of that much. Let's see, the Black Devils, they attacked our enclave. We had some 8 families, 30 Manticores. Me and my wife, we fled after it was obvious we were outmatched. There was some 12 of them that came into our enclave. They attacked and killed some, and then started dragging away others that they have maimed. I assume maybe to consume later. But we left, and 2 chased after us. The Manticores aren't known for their long distance flying, so after 10 or 12, maybe 15 miles, we had to stop. We didn't want to get winded. I thought they were farther behind us. They're sneaky. We were just about to take flight again when the devils attacked us. They concentrated their attack on my mate, and she fell quickly. But not after wounding and slowing them with our poison. I was able to kill them and to get our revenge. But my wife, she bled out soon after. We made our way this way, getting away from the mountains. We know that there's kobolds and orcs and the dragons, of course. So we made our way to open territory and, well, ran into you. Which I am grateful again. Thank you.
You're quite welcome.
Yes.
When I killed one, its body exploded and its poison went all over my back and burnt me well. And I appreciate you healing me from that. I had not been able to heal properly as we had been on the move.
Hmm.
And he looks at you, Ash, and nods. I believe you healed him, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Good.
All right.
Not a problem. And if there's any other healing you need, or any other way I can be of assistance, just let me know.
All we ask in return is for you to keep killing these red kobolds.
That won't be a problem.
That and keep a low profile while you're around in this area.
Hmm.
The less our village knows about you, the better.
Oh, of course. How far away is your village?
Plenty far. You
And,
shouldn't have any issues of running into anyone. Just in case.
well, if I was to choose a hunting ground, which way should I go? And the cave is in the west. So he could go, if he went east, he would be going closer to the village.
Right.
Well, and I happen to point out northwest is a good direction.
Mm-hmm.
Looks
Granted,
You.
it may be closer to the mountains, but it is somewhat better in theory about where it is. Hell, he might even catch a few more winter wolves.
It would be a lot safer for you and less suspicion. Less people would be seeing you, and therefore less people would come near this cave.
well.
You wouldn't have
I will.
to look. Go ahead.
Well, then I will make sure I take a northernly or a westernly approach to my hunting. As he looks over his shoulder, kind of past the outcropping of rocks that are here. I do remember some places where I can get some game behind me. It's basically where I came from, so shouldn't be too hard.
Mm-hmm.
So I will let this be the furthest south I will go, and will not approach your village out of respect for you and for my life as well.
And for anyone else you might be worried about.
With that, he looks at you and kind of has demons in his eyes.
She just
But he
looks
does.
like an innocent face and just looks.
So you're gonna change your face a little bit to make you look more innocent, or
No, I mean she's just kind of.
gotcha.
She's giving him a look like it's okay, kind of like I suspect something, but I'm not gonna push it type of look.
My name is Marshall. What is yours?
You can call me Ash.
Ash, I appreciate your help earlier. Please try not to be too helpful.
As you wish.
And you, young druid, what is your name?
Banthor. It's nice to finally truly meet you, Marshall.
Banthor. That's a good name. Where's that wicked one that shot me with the arrows? Ah. What is your name?
Necra. And when he said the wicked one, like away from him, kind of gesture like along the lines of bite me.
You are quite accurate with that bow. Yes, and he raises his tail, and you see that not all the barbs are there. He's missing a few, but he kind of shakes it, and they rattle against each other. I'm pretty accurate myself when I want to be. And he quickly changes his glance to you, Kellum. And what is your name?
I'm Kellum.
It was nice to meet you, warrior.
And you. Shall we begin preparing for our journey?
If this is all we needed, then I think we
Where
should
are
be
you headed?
returning now.
Yes. Okay. You're going back to your village?
We probably should, at least for the night. And leave at dawn.
Yes. You should probably rest a bit before you go out. It looks like you've been busy today.
Mm-hmm. At the end, we did run into a scouting group of kobolds.
Did they have one of those nasty lizards with them?
Yeah, they
Maybe.
did.
Don't try to eat the meat. It's disgusting.
Noted.
Well, if you're not camping here tonight, and if there's nothing else, I appreciate the ice to help keep my food cold for a few more days. And I will keep to the north and to the west.
Mm-hmm. That's all we ask for the moment.
If I run into any of your village, I will tell them your names if they try to harm me. Is
That may or may
that's
not go over
reasonable?
well.
Well,
You can tell them my name. I'm fine with that.
I'm fine with it. I'm just saying I don't know how some of the others
Well
will react.
received it will be.
So, do you play the games of the youth and get yourselves in trouble? He smirks. And when he smirks, you see the rows upon rows of teeth. He's like a shark. It just has, 5 rows of teeth and such. You definitely wouldn't want to be bitten by that amount of teeth.
Mhm.
Simply
While some of us
impatience.
may have gotten in trouble at times, I don't feel that that would be the reason for them not liking that we have you as a secret from them. Some of them, I believe, may be certain elders
them
and those
have
that
it.
follow them may not be happy with how things have turned out with the tree.
Some of them have ill intent. Them finding out about you. That's the reason why we want you to keep a low profile. We would hate for them to want to try to hunt you and there be any issues, especially with all you've gone through.
I appreciate the information. Thank you. um,
If worse comes to worse and you do run into someone and you do have to give a name, like I said, I am okay with you giving my name, but I would ask you to not harm them even if they do draw weapons towards you.
if I am able, I will be quiet and stealthy. And even though I am prideful, I do know how to flee. So
I would
You may
owe
use my name as
you
well.
thank you, Banthor.
We want to.
I'm
Want
looking
to
at
mention-
the roll 20, and as Kellum is unpacking his bagpipes. Ah, what weapon is that?
It is a weapon of noise.
Oh, I remember. And he puts his hands over his ears, that noise. But it's not so bad when you know what it is.
And you do get used to it. Also, it's
Yeah,
rather good for practicing.
Begrudgingly. You get used to it. It's okay. She kind of pats him gently. You learn to go the opposite way when you hear that.
It brings much attention. I am assuming.
Oh,
It-
definitely.
Warrior, you are brave. I like you. Nekra, give me a perception.
Oh, goody. 17.
You notice that there's something small at the mouth of the cave, just inside the cave. You can't make out what it is, but you know that there's something there.
Okay.
From your angle and, you being, away from the situation directly, you have the ability. You're basically the only person that would have really been able to see it. So, something is come up stealthily, but not stealthily enough. And it's kind of like a dog cocks its head to the side. It seems like it's trying to listen to Kellum's bagpipes.
Had a feeling.
Right?
Yeah. That see, I picked up on that. That's why Ash was talking that way. So,
Yeah.
Yep, figured.
it was that hard to pick up on.
Yeah, if it wasn't for the bagpipes, I wasn't going to give you any more hints and such, but I figured the bagpipes would draw out, something,
Yeah, that's what they're for. It's like
Something
draw the
curious.
attention.
Mm-hmm. Right, so
Give me 1 second. All right, okay. Well, you must take those. What did you call them again?
Callum will just
Yeah,
looks like Callum.
kind of sit there and just keep on playing and like not stop to talk.
Those are called bagpipes.
Bagpipes. Ah, yeah. Oh, that's simple. Take the bagpipes away. They're annoying me.
Callum will
You have a good
smartly
evening.
turn and begin leading towards the village.
Right. He'll wait a while, to watch you go out of sight, and then he'll turn around and go back towards the cave.
Uh, as he's going, Ash is just have a good night. Make sure you have enough for the both of you. And she's just gonna walk off.
You hear like a low growl, but nothing else.
keep poking the bear.
Yep. She like, yep. That's just not free.
Yeah, as soon
And-
as we know that we're out of earshot, they're fairly sure, he's got at least one cub, and not sure what all else maybe.
Mm-hmm. He kind of gave himself away. The fact that he kept saying we kept traveling.
Mhm.
Uh,
Yeah, Marshall's crafty, but he's not too smart.
yeah, Manticores
Mhm.
usually aren't.
Oops, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, no. Oh,
I was just going to say that he. Oh, go ahead. Stop.
You go
That's
ahead.
I was just going to say he relied on his wife for the smarts. So.
Understandable. He's the protector. She's the smart one. But yeah, Ash would just say more of a reason to keep him,
quiet.
and she kind of quote because she's meaning is more than keep them hidden. Especially that no one knows that they're here at all, other than us. Especially knowing that there may be young ones with him. You-
Is
protector.
Marshall out of earshot?
Hmm?
Well,
I
we
didn't hear
don't know
that. What
how
was that?
good.
Oh.
He was asking if we were out of earshot. So.
Yeah.
Just want to mention to Kellum. He seems okay, but may not be the best idea to mention the tree willy nilly. kind of give them a look like,
Well,
"Don't do that."
we did mention the tree to him the first time that, as an explanation as to why we were out and about and why we needed the wolf.
True, and again, he seems good enough if we keep him in red cobalts, but let's just be careful who we mention that to.
There's not much else out here to mention anything to, so
Mm. It's
Well,
good to
we-
keep in.
it's going to survive very long.
Well, we have to be careful now. I think we should make it part of our routine to check in on him. Yeah. Especially if kobolds are going to be coming this way. They're not the smartest bunch either, but if they get wind, the young, they might go back to their den, tell their den mother, leader.
And then we may have a dragon dealing with the situation, yes.
Yeah, we don't want big confrontations. We don't. We certainly don't want to pull the village into a confrontation.
Oh, I was supposed to tell you a piece of information from Marshall. He's after getting the cobalt icicles. He comes back and says those kobolds were quite young, inexperienced, possibly.
Mm-hmm.
And you can, if you want to, you can expound on that and such. Since I was supposed to tell you that information, so I forgot. My apologies.
Yeah.
And he will say, unlike the group that he was, that he had slain, the ones that you brought were quite young.
The ones we.
So yeah, y'all brought in the two icicles, and after examining them, he comes, and comes back and tells you that those were young, unlike the ones that he just fought off.
Makes sense since they were a scouting party. Yeah, that's probably their first time going out.
Anyways, so does look at this way
Are
come.
we close enough to just get a good look at how big those cobalt corpses are on the ground?
So Neko would have been able to, look at them and such. Now, this conversation is after the fact, but he could, she would have, noticed that they were, what's left of them, were fully sized and such. So they were, after that, Neko would have like, yeah, okay, they were the ones at the cave were a little bit bigger than the guys that we encountered.
So roughly the standard 3-4 foot.
Yeah, the ones that you encountered were, the ones that were at the cave. Those seem to be fully, mature kobolds. The ones that y'all encountered were, like I said, young. Maybe not like super small or anything like that. Just slightly smaller, not as robust, and things like that. Something that he was able to pick up on because of his encounters with kobolds. So.
Yeah, I think tucking that info away to assess danger.
Mm-hmm. He said he kind of said he that they came towards him, but also he went and rounded them up.
Yeah. So if you wanted to expound on that conversation, he would have said that he had separated them from a group of kobolds that he ran into farther north, and he had separated the group and basically had kind of pushed them in this direction as he was also going this direction and looking for a suitable place to make camp. He was keeping them around so that he knew where some fresh meat was, and he was moving things back and forth from where he was camped out to the cave, and they must have seen him, and they tried to ambush him. Didn't go too well for them.
So putting that together, could the group we ran into, and that could have been the same group that he divided?
Let's see. Hold on. Are you trying to assess that, or
Yeah.
when you? Okay. You could probably assume that they are two different groups.
Okay.
Because he will make a distinction that the scouting group that you ran into is different from the group that he ran into. Let's see. Give me a second. Okay. I don't have anything else further directly to say.
All right. So we're kind of tossing this stuff back and forth as we're heading to the village.
Let's see. Let me. I don't know if this is the best, but if you'd like, you can roll history, and I can give you some more information. Anybody? Oh, goodness. I'm pulling out these 20s for. Banthor with a 20 and Ashura. Did I pronounce it right? Ashura. 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 I'm going to try to get it before the end of the campaign. So, Ashura. So with those,
I still can't get it right.
Ashura. With those two roles, y'all kind of come to the conclusion that the scouting party that you ran into might have been looking for the ones that the Manticore had separated.
Okay. That was going to be my second thing. If they weren't the same group, then that.
Right.
They might have been looking for them.
Because the Manticore will offhand, say that he's been toying with these guys for the last couple of days.
With any luck, then any other further scouts looking for the missing patrol will find the one that we took out and assume that they were just encountered another group of us based on the wounds and not suspect Manticore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because the way they died.
And a large chunk of the damage done by the Manticore would be like that big ass panther that seems to kill everything it comes across has been here.
I think we're okay for the moment with him.
So, are we reaching the trees at the edge of town yet?
Yeah. You know, as you're all walking and such, it takes you. It's going to take you a couple hours to walk there. Is definitely well into the night. You know, not past midnight or anything, but the village is starting to settle and such into the night, and you're approaching the outskirts of the village.
I think perhaps when we get here, we should rest for a while, get rejuvenated. But perhaps we may want to leave even before dawn. I don't know that the elders will necessarily sanction what we have planned going after the devils.
Real quick, a long rest.
Take a couple of days.
Yeah, we're going to go over the mechanics of that real quick so that everybody's on the same page. So a short rest is going to be at least a 2-hour stop where you do nothing for those 2 hours, or a normal rest at night. And you can have 2 short rests per day. Being either 2 times when you stop and do nothing for 2 hours, or one time where you do that for 2 hours and sleep for the night. Sleeping for the night can be done with the meditation. So if you wanted to elven meditation, so if you wanted to do that quicker, it would take 4 hours of meditation, which doesn't seem quite math right. Considering you do 2 hours of nothing. Well, you have to sleep, or at least meditate once a day, or you're going to get exhaustion anyhow. So there we go. That's what that's for. It staves away exhaustion as well, sleeping or meditating. So a long rest. I didn't write down my original notes. Believe I was saying was going to be. Go ahead.
3 days at least.
Yeah.
Is what you had it set for.
Right.
No, actually, I think you were going for 5 days, like a week.
Yeah.
But then you were
right.
saying that if they meditate, they could cut it down to like 30 days.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. So, where you sleep and how safe the area is will be a factor in that. So going home and sleeping in your beds, things like that. So sleeping in a comfortable place with a bed that's, just in, has a door or something, to keep, the boogeyman from cutting in, is I'll just call it a point of proficiency, or one level of, whatever. And then, being somewhere where you're safe, like in a town or in your village, or, on top of, the tallest tree where nobody can, smell you, kind of thing like that. And you've got some kind of, all right, some kind of, tent, or something that's set up and such, that could add, to the safety, could give you another point of proficiency, basically. So what I'm doing is it's going to be 5 days plus any time that you've been downed to 0 hit points. So if during your combat, either one of your combats, if you were downed, we would keep a track of that until you take your long rest, and that would add to that. So, but on the flip side, being in your village and being in your bed will be 2 points taken away from that total. So, being that you haven't been downed and you're going back to your village, the 5 days will be reduced down to 3 days.
Okay.
But out in the wild, if you just have a campsite and they're just like, laying down on bedding and stuff, unless you have like a regimented, somebody's keeping watch, you know the area, things like that, you probably won't get any bonuses. But if you can come up with other, means of protecting yourselves or sleeping better, if there's some kind of magic hut, blah blah blah, things like that. So, yeah. So with the trance, Necros put it out here on Roll20. Ashura, there we go, has to sleep for 8 hours. So
I'm assuming at least.
yeah. So
Well, 6 hours and 2 hours of light activity.
got it.
So I don't have to sleep the whole 8 hours, but at least 6 hours.
Yeah. And you don't really have the meditative, bypass.
Nope.
Okay. But on the flip side, you've got sorcery points. So, do you get those back on a short rest?
Oh, I think I can get some points, not all of them, but some of them back. I have to relook at that.
Yeah. So that could be, a caveat for you and such, that you can get some or all of your sorcery points. Let's see. Back with a short rest. Is it racial? Let's see. Metamagic. Sorcery points. Oh, we gain when long rest. Yeah, okay. All right.
Yeah,
So I was
with a
thinking
long rest. I think a bonus gives me like maybe 1 or 2 if I have none.
Gotcha.
But like say I have to reread over that. That might be at higher levels.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Most of my stuff depends on the long rest.
Yeah.
Okay. So, taking a long rest, bare minimum is going to be 3 days. For y'all, sleeping in the village is going to be 3 days. And that will, get you all your spell slots back and give you your full hit points. So, taking a short rest, a normal sleep, you would be able to regain some hit points and any of those things that would come back. I believe Kellum, being a fighter, he has things that will come back on a short rest. Features. Let's see. Second wind and action surge will come back on a short rest for Kellum. So those are good things. A presence as a warlock. We'll come back on a short rest. Okay.
Well, yeah, a lot of warlock stuff just comes back on a short rest, anyways.
Maybe that's what I was thinking. I was maybe confusing the sorcerer and the warlock on when some of their stuff comes back. I thought the sorcerer was on a short rest, but I think no. Yeah. Okay. All right. So with that information about like how long it's going to take, I don't know exactly. If anybody has spell slots that they. Let's see.
Haven't used mine yet.
Mm-hmm. It looks like Kellum used a spell slot. I think Banthor might have used a spell slot.
Yeah, I used one.
Okay. Um, I like how it separates the different spell slots. One for the pack, and then the others for druid. Okay.
Mm.
And then Necro, I don't think you've used any.
Nope.
Okay. All right, you got your two still there. Okay. Let's see. So Necro, you went second level ranger.
Mm-hmm.
So there's not going to be any downtime or anything for you to do that training. And then Ash, you went to third level sorcerer. So with the equation I have, training is level minus teacher's proficiency. And for the low levels, I'm going to allow you as an individual to be your teacher, and such. So you do need to spend one day meditating or training yourself and such for the third level.
Okay.
So you will need to spend one day of downtime for that before you're able to use your third level efficiently. You technically are third level, but I'm just kind of backtrack at it a little bit. So that will be something that you'll need to to handle basically with the when y'all leaving and things like that. If yeah. So if you didn't do that, then we'd need if you didn't take a day to do any of that, then we'd come up with something to put you at a disadvantage of some sort with especially you got the second level stuff for being a third level, right? So that kind of thing. You still know the information, but you haven't trained yourself enough. So those anything like that, you would have a disadvantage of some sort to use until you actually took that day to train yourself.
I understand.
But outside of that, everybody else is good where they're at. Callum, I didn't know. Oh, okay. Never mind.
Kind of busy at the moment, yes.
Yeah, I see that now. At first, I saw that he was on a phone call, and then now I see that he's, taking longer. I didn't notice that one. So that being the case, how do y'all want to approach your travel time, or approach your leaving the village kind of thing?
Yeah, I definitely want to take the day to take the time to learn the stuff or teach myself.
Okay.
So I have access before we leave out on any other excursions. So I'm going to at least take that time.
Mm-hmm.
If we have time to take a whole long rest, which wait 3 days, then I would prefer that.
And it's not like you have to sit in your bed for 3 days, or do studying for 3 days, kind of thing. It's like you need 3 days of rest where you're doing light duty stuff. Especially if your body is the big thing that is like, oh, I need, I'm almost dead kind of thing. I need to, come back from that. But to properly get the spell slots back and allow yourself to gather that energy back, you just need light duty, kind of thing. So it would be, you couldn't go out on excursions, on combat of basically any kind would kind of ruin that day for you in a way, because you're exerting yourself. Now, if you got into combat and you're like, dude, I'm just hiding, then that would be different, kind of thing. So you could, be strategic about it. You're like, you know what? It looks like these guys can handle the situation. I'm just gonna sit in this barrel and watch. And if I'm needed, I will do something. But I'm gonna try to hold on to my one day, kind of thing. So.
Or the most strenuous thing happening is Ashura climbs a tree and hugs the trunk or some shit.
Right. Yeah. I mean, if you're in the village, you could always just like, oh, I'm just gonna, there's a bug that's in the tree, and gone. I left
You guys got this
spell pouch in the tree. I got it, kind of thing.
And we might see Ash in like 12, 18 hours.
Yeah. Well, you come back, oh, is everything, wow, you guys, you did such a great job. You didn't need me at all. Well, I feel nice and rested. How about you?
But she said it couldn't be like that much of it. Yeah, but she's gonna be running behind him. Hey, just gotta be conservative. He's like, guys, I could, but only got one spell slot left, so I'm gonna hold on to it.
Right, yeah, that emergency spell slot. So.
Like, hey, I just can't do it. You gotta hold on to that third spell, gotta counterspell something, so I can't fireball.
We need a fireball! Well, I mean, do you need a fireball?
I can't give
or you
fireball.
just want the fireball? Or you just want
fire.
Right. Or did you just want it, Does it just make it easier, or is it necessary? So, yeah.
Yeah.
So, guys, look. Like, I would give you a fireball right now, but like the mage over there is charging up something, so I gotta be ready to like deal with that.
Right.
Yeah. Or well, looky, Hail of Thorns didn't work so well. Right.
Like I said, I can't fireball with all of you right there.
Anyways, so figure.
So we can take the long rest, the downtime, and for that we do have some material that we can kind of get situated with. We're talking about making some cloaks out of the pelts. Yeah.
Yeah. So if this could give us a taste of what some downtime, what we can do during that downtime. Like I said, you can do light activity, like making a potion, isn't strenuous, and it takes a little bit of time here, a little bit of time there, things like that. Sitting down and, working some leather for, a little while, or, even just having conversations with people, bartering, going out and shopping, things like that. So.
Right. And going collecting more materials and making more of the herbs.
Yeah, that could be, if you didn't spend, a lot of time doing that, you could spend, a few hours going off and looking for herbs. And if you went by yourself, you would be stressed a little bit. So going with, because it's safe, relatively safe, but it's not like perfectly safe, so if an individual went out there by himself, they'd be looking over their shoulder a lot and stressing themselves, unless they just did care. So there's that. So you could go out oblivious, or you could go out and be like, I'm picking herbs, but I'm also looking over my shoulder all the time, and that could be stressful. So that's not light duty kind of thing. So, but if you went out with a group of people, or at least one other person, we can make an argument. We're just going to spend a couple of hours right outside the village looking for herbs, kind of thing. So, the pickings might be slim, but at least it would be safe and things like that. So,
all right.
That being said, I will make a toad hunt. And also, Necro's like, it's more stressful in the town than outside. for her, I guess, maybe.
I'm back. Sorry about that, guys.
That's fine. We were going over some game mechanics of what a long rest and training will entail. So to fully get back the spell slots and things like that, you'll need to take a long rest. So far, the equation is 5 days plus any downed instances. So if you were brought to 0 hit points once, that would add to the 5 days, minus the proficiency of your sleeping arrangements. So being in a village is one, and being, in a so being in a village is safe. And then also being in your bed or being in a comfortable location is another. So, generally speaking, if you're in the village, it takes 3 days to do a long rest. And that'll get you all of your spell slots back and all of your special doodads and such. Taking a short rest, you can do 2 short rests in a day. Either being the standard sleep is one, which you have to have this sleep session or the meditation session to not get
exhaustion.
Thank you. That's the word. So depending on how you do it, you could have 2 short rest and then sleep the night, or like 1 short rest and then your sleep for the night would be your second short rest, kind of thing. And a short rest in general is 2 hours of nothing. Sitting down, or 4 hours of light duty. If you wanted to, we could argue that 1 hour of meditation, where you are not oblivious to your surroundings, but you're not like keeping a, if somebody came up to you and said, "Hey, how's it going?" You're like, "Oh, what's up?" Or if somebody walked up to you, you'd like, "Oh, somebody's walking up to me." But you wouldn't be able to, like, danger sense kind of thing, and you could get bum rushed depending on, of course, your situation. So just, how you want to handle doing the meditation, is important. But that could cut down the time of a short rest and a long rest. So that being said, a long rest of 3 days could, with meditation, be a day and a half, basically, of you meditating, throughout that day and a half. Now, it's not like 36 hours straight. You're gonna have to sleep for a little while. Well, I guess the meditation is part of the sleep process. You have to need something to eat, and of course, I don't think, meditating for 36 hours is going to be great on your bladder. So kind of things like that. So,
So real quick, are these durations, you're doing these as a homebrew?
Mhm.
For rest? Okay.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah, these are definitely not the standard, and such. So, are you saying that that's part of the alert and observant? Is that part of the meditation?
No, that's how you get around the. You're sitting there meditating and you can't pay. You're not aware of much past 3 feet around you.
Oh, you're saying if you have the feats alert and
And
observant?
observant, it's like,
Gotcha.
yeah, it's as
Right.
if you're fully awake. Just
Or at least your spidey sense, kicks in and kind of thing. So.
yeah.
So to get back any lost or used, any used spell slots would take the long rest. I believe Anthor has used one, and Ash has used one of their spell slots. Not terrible. And with a short rest, I believe any of the hit points, the few hit points that were lacking, here and there, could easily be regained with a short rest. And also, excuse me, I burped. Also, Ashura. Am I pronouncing that right?
You're getting better.
Getting better. Okay, better. Okay. Needs 1 day downtime to fully study her second level spells and things like that. So you need at least 1 day in the village before you leave, because Ash wants to get that done. And then y'all can decide if you want to take 3 days more, or just 3 days with the long rest. So I guess if Ash wants that spell slot back, you would need 4 days of downtime.
From a player that's concerned about the continuity of, I think it's continuity of the world, how sparse do we need to be with our spells so we don't have downtimes at times when the world is going to continue on while we're just sitting there resting?
Right.
That's a major event.
Yeah, I hear. Yeah, so it's going to make adventuring out into the open, past the village and stuff like that. It's gonna make that interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So hold on.
So cantrips only unless it's a boss fight.
Basically. Basically. Yeah.
So standard operating procedure is okay, easy enough.
Basically.
Now I might bring the base to 3 days. So being around the village, as long as you're not downed, could just take 1 day of rest. But when you're out in the open, it's going to take 3 days. And such. Then the reason I say at the village is because you're safe and you're in a comfortable place. So being out in the open, you won't have that fully safe, like I could just sleep and it doesn't matter. Even if somebody's watching or, on guard, you're still, there's still the Ubla Amargata, or however you want to pronounce that, in the back of your alligator mind, going, just in case, I'm gonna stay slightly, aware. You're not gonna get that deep REM sleep, that you would in your own bed.
Could I throw an idea at you?
You can, yes.
So in a village where we all can sleep at once, maybe we go with like the standard short, long rest. But then out and about, where some of us do have to stay on guard, someone is on guard for the whole 8 hours, and so you actually have to sleep. It'd be 16 hours to become the whole, much longer at that point. That's where you go, or double the time you have to rest then, I guess, or up to the 3 days like you're talking. But I feel like it makes more sense saying this. Well, it's because you're sleeping. Not like Kellen's doing his 8 hour thing, but Necra is up for those 8 hours, and then when Kellen is done, well, Necra now has to sleep for 8 hours, and so there's while Kellen's on watch for 8 hours. And I'm just doing the standard 8 hour right now based on the regular. Whereas if we're in the village, well, none of us have to do the guard duty, so we all get to sleep at the same time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm approaching it from a logical standpoint. Is all.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Without knowing your motivation for why you're wanting to make it longer, because I don't want to argue with that. You're GM. You're in charge of that. So I'm just coming from a trying to understand it to make it make sense in the realism aspect for me as to why these things will take longer.
I think part of the realism about it is you could be, down to 1 hit point and then go sleep and boom, you're back to max.
But you have to sleep for
that's
that whole
a little off.
8.
Well, yeah, you do have to sleep for 8 hours, but you get like all of your hit points back, and you come back from having whatever kind of crazy wounds to okay, I'm good now. So that's why I just wanted to extend it.
I'm not necessarily thinking about the whole crazy wounds part. That I completely understand. It's like, if you got a critical injury, it's going to take days. Like if I go sprain my ankle right now, a sprained ankle is going to take a week or more to heal at least. So that I get.
Right.
I'm just thinking, like on the spell restoration parts is what I'm mostly worried about. In all honesty.
Right.
Well,
I have no problem. Even I think every D&D game I play was like if you had major damage, there would be an actual a longer time to heal those critical wounds, which I get that. So I don't want to buck on that part. Just the
Gotcha.
some of the other recovery parts like the spells, because if we're on a no cantrips unless it's a boss, because it's going to take us 3 days to get our spell slots back. That one concerns me a little bit. Is all.
Gotcha. Okay.
Actually, just a little bit of personal experience here. Played a game called Iron Hedge. You mages, arcane or divine, only got spells back once a week. You got a spell a week. Otherwise, 6 days of that, you are a underpowered fighter.
Wow. That's painful.
And yeah, you're heading towards that.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm trying to find some middle ground between that stupidity, because that's crazy, and and something that sounds right.
Well, a recommendation: so we get the longer short rest. We can get the spell slots and all that back, but we don't get the full healing and everything.
That might be some middle ground, and we'll
work on that. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I definitely. It's going to affect us currently as we stand, anyhow. So, we'll try to think of ways to mitigate that.
Anyways, so what healing we need doing, we can do. We can give Ash that.
Jim, if you want to, take what we said and consider something, think about it, and kind of table it for now. I think the whole 3-day right now, with our current situation, 3 days is perfectly reasonable for us to, prepare for what's going to be our group's first big foray into the wild. So, in a way, so as I just going with your original idea for today, because it makes sense from all points of view on that, I think. And then, you think about what we've talked about. If you want to discuss it further or think it further, we can do that at a later time. Just so you're not sitting there
because I want to
creating a headache for yourself right now.
Yeah, I don't want to bog us down with real time. Trying to figure that out, especially when we're almost hit 11 as it is. So we'll table it, and I'll give it some concentration, some thought on whether we'll, separate physical healing or needed physical healing. Because it may be that you're fine for the most part. You've got a few hit points here and there, but that could be swallowed up with a short rest.
Yeah.
And your big thing, and my concern as well in a way is that spell slot management. So that's going to be something. Maybe we'll do it as it takes what is considered a long rest to get your spell slots back, and then, you could either, I guess. Never mind. We're tabling it. Okay. Sorry. All right, we're going to table it, and then we'll get back to it. I'm going to make a chart, and what I'll do is I'll make it on roll 20, and leave that open. As the last map, basically. So you'll be able to come in and make any notes on that, or you can, or you could just put it down on the in-game chat for Into the Unknown on any downtime issues or things that you want to be doing during the downtime. For right now, we'll just say we're going to take 3 days of downtime. That'll take care of Ash doing the training and get your spell slots back and hit points. And we'll basically start fresh after resting for 3 days. And then we'll go from there to get that equation down on spell slots and healing. I may just say okay, when you're down. Shut up, Jeremy. Okay.
No, it's good. I mean,
we'll figure it out.
Settle things out.
Yeah, maybe if you're downed, you need to take that long-term rest to fully heal. Or if you get critically injured, things like that. But yeah.
All right.
And before you leave, or even after you leave, things in the village will continue to happen and such. So, Ash, you'll need to take at least one of the 3 days for your training, and then you'll have 2 other days that you can do other things with. And then the group will say basically the same thing. You need at least 1 day to do the long rest, and then you'll have 2 other days to do other things. So during those 2 other days, what kind of activities would you like to do? We'll start with Necra. Do you have anything in mind, or do you want to pass to the next person?
Aside from the Toad Hunter and similar, not really.
Okay.
I'm mostly just kind of wandering around town, since aside from needing to take a 4-hour nap every once in a while, I'm fine to go right now.
Okay, gotcha. All right. Kellum, can I get you in the treehouse? That's it's in the other
Oh,
voice channels. Do you see
okay.
that?
Yep, I see it. Do you want me to keep the
Treehouse
stream available to hear us?
No, just me and you up in the treehouse.
Just me and you? Okay, hold on. Let me mute the stream's ears. Uh, okay, stream. The GM is going to tell me some secrets. I don't know what the secrets are yet. I am here. I'm letting the stream know that I'm about to mute them. They don't get to hear the secrets. Oh,
I don't think anybody else is,
yeah,
I don't think
I
the
don't think any of
group
our
is
guys
listening.
are. Okay, so stream gets to hear the secrets.
Yes.
All right.
So on your first night of taking, you coming home and you're like, okay, and you go to bed and you sleep. This is part of your backstory, and I want to make sure that we're on the same page.
Okay.
So tonight you have dreams of your patron mother, of the patron mother, your grandmother, and the coup that was brought on by your brood mother. So basically, what the with the drow that were here, there was the grandmother who sired a lot of the drow, and then had one other female who was allowed to breed and have children of her own. They're very, strict and matriarchal society, the drow. Your brood mother, and when I say brood mother, is not like she's your mother, she's just the woman who birthed you. It's kind of how they look at things.
So there's the clan mother and the mother.
Right.
Biological mother. Okay.
And right, the brood mother had started a coup, and it led to the self-massacre of the drow clan. They just killed they just killed each other off, basically.
Okay, hold
and
on.
Because of your age, yep.
My brood mother, my biological mother, started the coup against the family mother. Okay.
Correct. She was trying to, take power. She was going to kill the patron and take the clan for herself. She, raised, some people to gather and go against the brood mother. But because of your age, you were excluded. You're like the youngest, basically. And that is why you were able to survive the night of bloodshed, as they all just killed each other off. And they bled out, and then you came, the next day, and you're like, oh, okay. So basically, that you have dreams of remembering that, and you also remember the trials of being the last of your clan, and the responsibility you feel of keeping, the memory of the clan together, and that's, part of, what you do with your bagpipes is part of that. You're just, even though you didn't see eye to eye, even at your age back then, with the brood mother and the patron mother and how things were going, you still like, well, these are still my people and stuff. So, and so after that, you've basically, because of this dream and just that remembrance, it gives you, it inspires you. So it basically gives you a point of inspiration.
Okay. Sweet.
So I wanted to make sure that was cool with that backstory of how you see your character. If not, we can change that and go a different route.
No, that works. I like it.
Okay.
I might even go in there and
could be
flesh
also
it out some more.
Yeah, And that's just the basics right there,
Yeah.
And of course, we can go into more detail, but and that could be why a part of reason why you are out in the edge of the village. You're the last of the drow, and phew, the drow are vicious creatures. They killed each other off, in the middle of the night, and stuff like that. So you're the only person who really knows. Like you could have had a conversation with your brood mother or somebody else that told you what was going on. Whether or not you let the rest of the village know is, we can talk about that.
Yeah, I think I would keep the reality of it all to myself,
Gotcha. Okay.
at least for now.
Any other questions or statements before we go back?
Not right now. I think what I'll do, I'll flesh out some of the nitty gritty details of it before the next session and get that over to you, and then we can discuss it at that point.
Okay. All right.
But I like the bird's eye view of it. I like where it's going.
Good.
All right.
And I actually picked that from some of the description that you have in your character, saying you're the lone person of the clan or something like that. So I was like, okay, so I will do it this way then.
All right.
So.
Sweet.
All right. We'll go back to those guys.
Okay.
Things, everything has its own table and its own place in memory, so you can't do that anymore in modern games.
Hey guys,
Okay.
I got secrets.
Secrets, yes. Okay. So, do you? Okay. So, Kellum, is there anything in particular that you would like to do for your 2 days of downtime?
I will.
And these don't have to be written in stone because things may change. But go ahead and tell me. Sorry.
Is there any? This is my lack of knowledge of the D&D system. Is there any benefit to having like some whetstones? Would that give me any benefits on rolls, or is it just going to be kind of for the sake of saying I have one? If that's even a thing.
I'm sorry. What? I didn't really hear the first part.
Are there whetstones items?
Oh, so like, yeah.
I'm not finding any right now, but is that something I could maybe find in the village, and then would it give me any kind of boost or a bonus on rolls later on if I've used it before we go into combat?
I got you. So we can definitely, bring that into it. You spend 1 day of downtime sharpening and going over your equipment and stuff. So, like, some games have like freshly rested, video games. So for a moment, a span of time, you get bonuses and stuff like that. So we can do, something similar to that, and we can come up with some game mechanic for that. I'm not going to try to spend our time coming up with that, but I don't mind allowing that. So,
all right. So mechanics aside, work that out later. That's what Kellum will do. He'll go looking for a fresh whetstone. He probably has one, but not really one for carrying around. And since we're about to go on a larger adventure, he'll be looking for two things: a backpack, and actually, I guess three things: a backpack, a whetstone that is not going to be too heavy, but is also still big enough that he can get the job done. And he'll start looking at what kind of other supplies do we need to take with us. We can probably hunt while we're out and about, but other supplies are not going to be so easy to acquire while we're in the forest. So maybe ropes and such.
Got it. Ashra.
There you go. Other than doing the training and getting that done, Yeah, since we're going, I'd probably look into like again, those pelts and such, and seeing if we could get stuff made from those, plus the ones that we collected from the scouting party. I want to get some of those things like either started or go to so they can be started.
Mm-hmm.
So I know we talked about the stuff from the giant lizard could be made into like boots or gloves.
Mm-hmm.
So and getting cloaks, like fire resistant cloaks made. So I want to look into that.
Okay. All right. And Banthor.
So, two things I want to do. First off, is drop my shield off at the Smith. Mention
All right.
Seraphina's name. Like, hey, she said,
Right.
she's got this. And then while that's working, just get acquainted with the alchemy table, brew some potions up. Not sure how many I could do in the span of 2 days.
Gotcha. So this the standard healing potions, correct? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, I think we mentioned the healing, and then there were some poisons as well. Is there anything?
Oh yeah, there's poison and
There's a
resist
list.
poison. Yeah. I didn't actually. I mean, I have a list, but I didn't like publish it. So my apologies about that. I should have done that. So did you? So you have the normal non-magical healing potion that you can do from the herbalism kit, and you could definitely do that in the alchemy lab and create more because the lab is better than your herbal kit, and also the fact that the tree can help you out a little bit with that. But the resist poison, you would need either a poison or 100 gold of gems to make that potion. And then there's the poison potion itself, which could be applied to weapons. And you would need a poison or 100 gems, 100 gold worth of gems to make that one. The growth potion would take a giant bird or lizard egg, and then the animal friendship would take bones from a beast that have been prepared correctly. So, like a rabbit, you might be able to get the rabbit skull, and that might be one out of the 5 you would need. It doesn't take a lot of bones, but they need to be large bones that aren't like damaged, either by fire, or cracked, because you smash the head in and stuff like that. Or even, like frozen because you use the ice spell on it, that's going to taint it. They need to be kind of pure bones and fresh. So you could get them from somebody else, or you can go out and get them your own and things like that. So your easiest thing would be able to make healing potions. I don't know if you have. I don't know if you have all the requisites for any of the other potions, but those could be things that you could be looking for while you're out and about.
So to make a poison, do I just need like a poison like herb?
So you need some of the poison herb and like an actual bit of poison from any a creature. So like and we can backpedal a little bit on this if you want. The Manticore has paralyzation poison, like a venom, basically, on his quills. You would know that, and such, so you could, if you wanted to, you could go and ask him, hey, can I have a couple of those quills? and stuff like that. And you can make, the poison that you could put on your weapons. They would have to be a slicing or a piercing weapon to, act like a venom to go into the bloodstream.
Yeah, I'd like to do that. Ask for,
Okay. Okay. Necra, when do you want to go look at the toad?
As soon as she is willing to show me.
Okay, so ask. Okay, Maxie, gotcha. Oh, okay. And then, so you have some herbs that you're going to give Banthor?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, go ahead and tell him what you have, and take them off your sheet, and then he can put them on his.
Second.
Yeah.
That's just gonna be annoying. Just rattling off a few herbal things. I've got 2 of each A, B, and C.
And he's going to give those to. She's going to give you to you, Banthor. So you have 2 of each of the A, B, and C that you can add.
Add it.
Okay. All right. So real quick, it's 10 after 11. I don't want to push too much. You, Necra, go off with Maxie to go look at the toad. It is a huge toad, and it has these polyps, like on its back, where if they're popped, it will release poison and such. You can tell that the pond that the toad has taken up was normal. It's normally clean and such, but now it's getting like a black ichor in the water and such. So it kind of looks like the toad is poisoning the water. With just you and Maxie, you don't think that you have a good chance of taking on the toad by yourselves.
Uh-huh.
You could harass it or, do other things like that, but you're pretty sure that somebody's going to get seriously injured if just the 2 of you take the toad on.
You're not ready to solo this boss battle.
I mean, you could, but
It's got
more hit. It's got more hit points than you do, so you can just tell by looking at it. It's a big old fat toady with some possible poison aspects. And watching it for a while, it has a 15-foot reach on its tongue.
Uh-huh.
I mean, you could stand back and shoot at it and stuff like that, but eventually it will. It hasn't shown you its mobility because it's been pretty much just chilling out in the pond. But
Though I am moderately surprised it's in the pond.
Still thinking of a way to try to take it on.
Well, this is poisoning the pond, and yeah, so...
You can't. And this would be where you would turn around and be like, alright, I need to assemble the group.
Well, if I wasn't playing the equivalent of a 16-year-old, definitely.
Oh, it's so hard.
So Maxie does say, "What are you doing? You're insane." I don't know. I'll back you up and stuff, but man, if this goes south, you're on your own.
Uh-huh. And
Necro's like, I want all the XP for myself. No.
no, I'm more like, you've got a point. Yes.
It's one of those.
Because you know she will cut and run. She has no problems of just like,
Well,
oh no, see ya.
Put away the bow, and out comes the butterfly net, and
Hey, wait! I said I would go. Hey, no.
yeah, and like, what? Okay.
So, having that information, what would you like to do?
Well, head back to town. Point out to the head of the local hunters that that's
Gotcha.
a bigger, nastier thing than I can take care of with even minimal assistance, and just get the ball rolling on that, I guess.
Okay. Is there anybody in particular you would tell that to, or just find the closest hunter or whoever you run into?
Trying to remember. I think the
Let's
head
see.
hunter was, well, Huntsmaster was this one?
Correct.
Yes, so just kind of mention to the Huntsmaster that that's the situation, and that they may actually have to drag out a druid or someone to clean out the pond.
Got it. Okay. He puts his hand on your shoulder and says, "Thank you, young one, for giving me this information. It's wise of you not to try and handle something as large as that on your own. We'll have conversation." Go
I
ahead.
pull out the Tink's a rather sizable lantern with Maxie inside. And I'm like, she reminded me that I really should not do something stupid, and just open the lantern.
You're gonna pay for that next time.
Yeah,
But I've got things to do.
you keep cutting and running when we need you. And
yeah. She's like, it just blows it off like, well, yeah. That's, I'm small. I have to look out for myself. There's nobody else that looks out for me, so that's what I have to do. And yeah. So, and I shouldn't have to explain myself to anybody. Thank you very kindly. And just kind of, while flying, kind of walks away. Like normally she just flies away, but she's kind of like moving her feet and swaying back and forth like she's walking away defiantly as she's flying away. Tink's lantern. That's funny. Oops. Oh, my face is doing that. That's weird. Sorry. Okay. Okay. So you hand that off. You hand that off to Garmin, and he assembles a team. Excuse me, not to Garmin, to Orist, and he starts assembling a team to go take care of that. And he says he appreciates the information. When they come back, and they'll decide if there's any reward for that information. And he starts to go off and gathering a group to take care of that.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. So shield and herbs. Okay. All right. So that really just takes, the better part of half a day at the most. So you basically like a day and a half of free time there. Anything in particular? You do notice, you notice that Banthor's been in the tree using the alchemy lab. Kellum has been running around grabbing supplies, and Ashera has been trying to figure out ways to manipulate the pelts. So I'm guessing she's been up in the workstation as well. Got it.
Yes. But basically weapons and armor maintenance, nothing particularly earth-shattering.
Okay. All right. So I'll work on those until our next gaming session. Like I said, I messed up my days of 30th and 31st of what day was what, so I need to consult the keeper of the calendar, my wife. On what I'm supposed to be doing, and when that is found out, I'll let you know. It'll probably be today, tomorrow, and I'll get that posted, and then we'll go from there. Anything anybody needs to say quickly before we go?
No. No.
I can think of.
Alrighty.
Did we level up?
We level up now. Well, you leveled up already. I will. I'm also going to look at some of the XP I want to award for this game session, and I will post that as well for the wardens and for the non-wardens. Your XP will be different. That being said, I was going to say something. I forgot. I don't know. I don't know what I was going to say. Darn. Oh well.
We all get one free uncommon magic item.
Well, I think Banthor is making some potions. You'll be able to make quite a few potions there. I'll look on your character sheet. If you, Banthor, would you want to make as many minor healing potions as you can, or would you?
I figured we could do, if you could at some point just send me just a little bit more detail on how many I can make,
Right.
and stuff like that, and I'll just I kind of want to mix it up a little bit, see if I can make a few poisons and then some healing potions, and I can just send you a message of what I do with those 2 days. Also, how many quills did I get? I'm not sure.
Ah, gotcha. Yeah, I didn't do that. I'll put that on. I'll get that together.
Yeah, just shoot me a message. That'll work.
Yep. And quill. All right, great. Okay. So if there isn't anything else, I appreciate you making the game, even though staying around, even though I was late. There will be. I hung around XP, so you will get hang around XP, and you will get XP for the gaming session itself. So I appreciate you being diligent and things like that. So thank you. And apologies.
No worries. We've all been there.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Kellen.
I'm gonna go and head out real quick, guys. Good game. We'll see you all at the next session, whenever that turns out to be.
All right. Have a good one.
All right, you
All
guys
right,
too.
later.
Later. All right. Thanks for watching the stream today. We will be back with more D&D and more Fallout. The next Fallout campaign game for sure is on the 6th of January. We may possibly have a special episode on the 30th. We'll see how that goes. And then either the 31st or the 14th, I think, for the next D&D campaign. But we'll have a bit of information out of that later as well. So until then, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.